Hi.
I'm excited about your background as a creator, writer, and producer of Blue's Clues, one of my favorite childhood shows myself. Did working on that show influence Go Dog Go in any way with its focus on sweet, adorable dogs and the age range of a younger audience?
Well, I haven't thought of it directly. I mean, I didn't create Blue's Clues, but I did work on it as a writer and as a head writer. And I suppose in the sense that it was my first big job that I think it's probably impacted everything else. I haven't really thought about the dog connection as much, but I think what that show, the experience on that show did more than anything else for me is it got me to understand and appreciate this audience. With Blue's Clues, they rigorously tested every episode. That you'd bring a script out to preschools, and so you'd really see kids interact with the stories, and you'd really get a sense of, do they understand it? Are they learning? So that's seeing that happen over and over again is something I've brought with me throughout my career. When we're writing a joke, I'm always saying, okay, is this going to land for a 4-year-old, or do we have to tweak it a little bit to make it a little more comprehensible or potentially funnier? So yeah, Blue's Clues was definitely very influential on everything I've worked on.
So I'm older than your ideal preschool audience, but I really enjoyed watching it because I personally love Yorkies. Are any of the dogs based on real breeds or your own dogs?
We didn't base any of the dogs on the show on my dog. I have a dog that's a black lab greyhound mix, and I don't think she worked in specifically. So there are dogs that are kind of based on some of the dogs in the book, and then there are dogs that are inspired by other breeds. We never really call out the breeds, so I don't want to necessarily peg any of them. But I think Beans, the green dog, is kind of like a sheepdog. I think Frank is a little bit more of sort of a schnauzer type. So Scooch has that kind of terrier look, but we never really call it out in the show. But we did want there to be a diversity of breeds, so that hopefully maybe kids could see something that reminded them of their own dog, and also so it could feel like a community that's diverse in some ways.
Okay, thank you.
I found this show to be really pleasant to have on in the background of my home. Some kids' shows can almost be irritating, and this one was so calming. You mentioned that the tone of the story had that unique quality and the spirit of the dogs. What went on behind the scenes to show that style? For instance, we noticed the muted colors in the animation that almost seemed to have like a calming effect.
Oh, that's so interesting. I don't know that we set out to create a calming effect necessarily, but we did want the town to have a very inviting feeling. We didn't. I think we probably stayed away from going, way too bright and saturated, because it inherently was going to be a colorful world. You have all these dogs and these vehicles and stuff. So it felt like if we can create a pretty grounded but also vibrant visual style, it would feel like a fun place to be and a place you'd kind of want to live in. And then it's just, I'm just so lucky to work with teams of writers and of artists and animators that they picked up something from the book. They stayed true to that, but they really made it its own thing and created a style that, again, I just feel like is really inventive and pleasant and fun. And so the teams at WildBrain and DreamWorks just did amazing work with that.
Will there be a toy line maybe focused on the city of Pawston, like a set of binoculars, a scooter, and collector characters of Scooch and Tag?
Well, first of all, that is a fantastic idea. I think I could see all those things. I have no knowledge of anything like that in the works yet. But hey, you never know. And I think that those would be fantastic additions to, any kid's toy shelf or toy box or whatever. So
Yeah, we'll make sure to get them if they do. Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you.